Have you ever forgiven somebody or thought you had, only to find yourself replaying it in your mind weeks or maybe months later? I've been a Christian for 45 years and I thought mistakenly I'd understood forgiveness. But recently I read something and it asked, did I have anything to forgive? Did I have anything I needed to forgive? And of course, I almost brushed it off, but because of course I forgave, didn't I? Didn't I? And then I was asked the question a different way, and that really hit me differently because they asked, what negative or repetitive thoughts keep going through your mind? And I found myself feeling a little less sure, and actually, the Holy Spirit brought to mind a couple of situations that had been playing on my mind over and over again. I don't know whether that sounds familiar. For weeks and months, I've been thinking about a couple of situations from the past, and I just could not find a way to put them down. I mean, I tried to. I tried to forgive. I guess I did forgive, but then I'd find myself ruminating on it all over again. And of course, I know how important it is to forgive, that unforgiveness hurts us more than it hurts the person we need to forgive. All of that. I knew that, but even so, I just didn't know how to do it, how to put it down once and for all. And then I came across a YouTube video that looked almost too simple. The suggested method took just a few minutes, and to be honest, I thought that can't possibly work. But I also thought, what have I got to lose? So the next time I had a free day and I was just playing through my mind, I decided to give it a go. I took out a pen and a sheet of paper. Now, the video had suggested that you write a letter to the person that had hurt you, but to be honest, that didn't feel quite right to me. So what I did was I wrote a letter to God, much like you see David writing in the Psalms, telling him about what had happened, why I felt it was unfair, how hurtful it had been, and how it had made me feel about myself. And I didn't hold back. I wrote down every dark and ugly thought that was in my head. I wrote everything, the anger, the hurt, and even to be honest, my disappointment that God hadn't stopped it from happening. And also something about my confusion because I didn't understand the point or purpose of it. I still don't. And then I just simply gave it to him in my head. I don't think I prayed a proper prayer. I just said, right, deal with it. And then I took my piece of paper, put it in the wood burner, lit a match, and watched all those words go up in smoke. I'm thinking the whole process of writing the letter took me around, 20 or 25 minutes. And it still seems too simple to work. But do you know what? Ever since that day, those negative thoughts, that ruminating on how unfair it felt or how hurt or angry I was, simply haven't come into my head. Whereas before, it had been an almost daily occurrence. And on the few occasions where something prompted me to remember what had happened, I just had a sense that it was done, that I'd given it to God, that even though I didn't understand it, I'd let it go and he was dealing with it. So why am I telling you this? Well, first of all, I have a couple more things that I need to deal with, and I've been putting off for a week or two, if I'm honest with you, probably longer. But also because I was just listening to a recent preach by Francis Chan, and he's talking about letting go of the sin that hinders, but also putting down the weights that carry, or the weights that we carry. And I think these past things are those weights that we carry sometimes. And because also it's hard for us to step into the next chapter that God has for us when we're still carrying those past hurts. And I think from talking to my friends that we all have things that hurt us, or things in our lives that seem unfair, or people who've been unkind, or life things that just make us really angry. It's just a part of life, I guess. But knowing how to deal with it, that's been the hard thing for me. And I guess because this worked for me, because I've got to do it again, I thought I'd share it with you. And I think the bit that's really hard for me, the reason I've been putting it off, is because you've kind of got to, you can't just push down those feelings. When you write it out, you've got to allow yourself to feel that pain. And sometimes I've certainly been putting that off but I know that I need to, because carrying all that stuff with me, it's just too tiring, and I've got enough on my plate already. And holding on to those negative thoughts just weighs me down, and it's not good for you. I've just come to this beautiful place, and almost all the way, instead of seeing the beauty, I've been thinking those thoughts and knowing that I need to deal with this issue and I need to get back and write one of those letters, because I'm fed up with it stealing my peace and my joy. Maybe you've been carrying something for years, or maybe it's only been weeks. Why not give it a go? You've got nothing to lose, and maybe, just maybe, it'll help you let go of those negative thoughts that have been playing on your mind and plaguing you. And why not just give it a go, give it to him, just like I did, and see what God will do, because he hasn't finished writing your story yet. Thanks for watching.